it. 95, 96. Come on. 4 more. Come on. Don't laugh. Good. Beat it, beat it, beat it. I think that was 100. Let's go. Come on, Copper. Up. Where's that crane?
Okay, let's see. So let's see, this even number, that 4 in front of the x, that means that it's going to be an Arnold Schwarzenegger. So the negative x, that's telling us that we're going down. So let's see, let's do a negative infinity, and also negative infinity as x goes to the negative infinity, it's also going to the negative infinity. And so to graph that, you draw your graph, it's going down like we said in both directions since it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's going like that. And then let's see, so as the x goes to positive infinity, it's all going down. As it goes to the negative infinity, it's also going down. That's how it's done. Let's see.
How does it go?
Let's go down. Right here. Let's do this one. Also again, an even number, that even 8, that means that it's going to go, that means it's going the same direction like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then since it's a positive x, it's going to go up. So we're going to have a positive infinity, and also since it's going to the negative infinity, it's also again going to be a positive infinity. So to graph it, once again do your graph and go up like Arnold would, and in the same direction. And that is how it's done.
How does it go?
It's gonna go up.
Okay, so now to illustrate the travolta method, first we'll look at that odd number 3. And so since it's an odd number, we know that the arrows are going to be going in the opposite direction. And to tell which direction as x moves into positive infinity, look at the x and see that it's a positive x. And so to know that, we know that since as x goes to a negative infinity, the inverse will go to a negative or a positive infinity. And then since they're in the opposite directions and it moves to a negative infinity, the inverse will move to negative infinity. All right, so to graph it, it's going to go like that. Because the x is moving to a negative or a positive infinity, and that's moving to positive, then negative, also negative infinity. Okay, so to show this again we look at that odd number 5, and so that'll tell us that they're going in opposite directions like Travolta would. And to say which will be the direction as x moves to a positive infinity, we look at that negative, and so that means that as x moves to a positive infinity, the inverse will move to a negative infinity. And they're in opposite directions, so as x moves to a negative infinity, the inverse will move to a positive infinity. And to graph that, you go, okay, so this is moving to a positive, this is moving to a negative, it'll go positive like that. Okay, and so this is moving to the negative, it's going to the positive infinity, and then a positive, it'll be negative.